Test 3. Part 3. Now look at Part 3. For each question, write the correct answer in the gap. Write 1 or 2 words or a number or a date or a time. Look at questions 14 to 19 now. You have 20 seconds. You will hear a student called Julie talking to her class about a trip to Venice.
Hi everyone, I'm going to tell you all about my wonderful trip to Venice last week. I went with my family. We arrived on Saturday morning at about 10 a.m. It's very easy to get from the airport to Venice, as you can either go by train or bus from the airport, or you can do it the more romantic way, which is by boat. The boats are called vaporetti, and they are very long and narrow so that they can sail down the canals easily. The wonderful thing about going by boat is that you can see a lot of the city before you've even checked into your hotel. We stayed in an area of Venice called Arsenal. We were on the boat for over an hour before we got to our stop. We set off at 10:15 and we arrived there at 11:30. On the way, we cruised past most of the outside of the city. The cheapest way of travelling around Venice is of course on foot, but after a while you will probably get very tired. You can buy a 3-day ticket to use on the Vaporetti, which only costs £20. We also bought a museum card for £30, which we could use to go into the museums, art galleries and churches. That saved us a lot of money. Apart from its fantastic buildings and squares, Venice is most famous for its canals. The thing I enjoyed most was walking over the many beautiful bridges and watching the boats beneath us. Now I'd like to mention the food in Venice. There are plenty of restaurants all over the city. As you would expect, there are plenty of pizza and pasta restaurants, but the nicest thing to eat in Venice is fish. On the last day, we sat and drank fresh juice on the Grand Canal. I took many photos for my friends and bought lots of Italian sweets. My parents bought some toy boats for our cousins. It was the perfect city holiday.
Test 4. Part 3. Now look at Part 3. For each question, write the correct answer in the gap. Write 1 or 2 words or a number or a date or a time. Look at questions 14 to 19 now. You have 20 seconds. You will hear a film actor called Roger talking on the school radio about his typical day on a film set.
Hi everyone, today I will tell you about my typical day filming. It sounds like a great job, but it really is very tiring. Every day I get up at 4 in the morning and I have to be ready by 4:30 to get in the car to the studio. In the winter, it's still dark, and as the studio is only half an hour away, I'm there at 5 and I don't get a chance to have a quick sleep. As soon as I get to the studio, I go to the hairdresser who brushes my hair into the hairstyle of the character I am playing. This usually takes about half an hour. When she finishes doing my hair, I don't have to move from the chair because the makeup lady comes to me and prepares me for filming. At the moment, I'm playing a police officer, so I don't need a lot of makeup. In my last film, I played the part of a big monster, and I needed a lot of makeup, which took 5 hours to do. It wasn't comfortable sitting in the same chair for such a long time. After makeup, I am given my costume to put on. At this point, I am now ready to act, but it is never like that. The film director is either late or the engineers haven't finished with the scenery or lights. We don't usually start on time. When they are ready, I go into the studio and we act out the different scenes. This takes all day until about 5 p.m. when they remove my makeup and I get changed back into my normal clothes. A car then takes me home, where I have dinner and go to bed, usually about 10 p.m. Then the same happens the next day and every day during filming. And that's my typical day.
Now, listen again. Part 3. Now look at Part 3. For each question, write the correct answer in the gap. Write 1 or 2 words or a number or a date or a time. Look at questions 14 to 19 now. You have 20 seconds. You will hear a man called Jack Pindar talking to a group of students about his job as a radio presenter.
Good morning. Thanks for inviting me to come and talk to you all today. I have been a radio presenter for 10 years now. I started doing DJ work for the university radio station. Strangely, I wasn't studying music or art. In fact, I was a history student, but I've always loved music. I do the breakfast show Monday to Friday. I start at 6 a.m. and I'm not much of a breakfast person, so I don't eat before the show. Everyone eats and drinks loads of strong coffee, but I'm a tea man myself. 1 big cup, and then I'm ready to start. Once I finish the show at 10, I have my breakfast then and a glass of juice. I love my job because I get to play great music. The best thing of all is when I get to do interviews. I've met some amazing people, some of them famous, and some of them just ordinary people who have done wonderful things. Unfortunately, I have made myself look silly a few times. My memory isn't that good. It's not that I forget dates or times or anything like that, but once in the middle of talking to a politician, I forgot their name. That was not good. I had never thought that I would have a successful career as a radio presenter when I was at university. I was always interested in teaching or acting, but if I changed careers now, I would definitely be a reporter of some kind, as I love talking to people. Well, that's a little bit about me. If any of you are free this weekend and aren't too busy studying or going to clubs, why not come and see me at a charity event I'm doing at Hatfield House? If you want to make a note of that, it's spelt Hatfield House. I hope to see some of you there.